mountain bike yesterday. See some good start before Caroline Buchanan was here, and I saw her signing a lot of things, getting photos with a lot of people as our next group gets underway. So that is Harvey Lee, Jarrah Street, Rolly Kime, Cooper Northey as they roll down the hill into the dam. And again, another wheelie as they head down the hill. That's two wheelies out of that group as well. Yesterday I was starting to pick up on a direct correlation between wheelies down the first hill and podium positions as our riders enjoy that relaxing ride out to Honeymoon Pool. Fantastic trails all through this area near Collie. We are very spoilt for choice. Just around this town, there are already a few different trailheads. We just happen to be at one of them as our next group standing on the start line, ready to go under Commissaire's orders once again. 7 commissaires scattered around the hills today, looking after our riders, making sure racing is conducted fairly and safely. So if you see anyone in a blue shirt, make sure you thank them, buy them a coffee potentially, maybe a hot donut. If you see someone with a microphone, buy them a coffee as well. Maybe 2 hot donuts for the guy with the microphone. As the next group on the line, Sam Northey, he'll be chasing his brother, Archie Winter, Callum Duffy, Elijah Hansel. So we have a mix of under-21 elite riders. Now, a reminder for everyone today, the under-21s are eligible to win the elite national championship. So if we do manage to get an under-21 winning the national champs, they are the official elite national champion of Australia. So something good to remember as we've got a few very talented under-21 riders mixed in with our elite men. There is a very high chance we might see one of them on the podium. As we wait. All right, so our next group just getting underway, heading down towards the dam now. No wheelies out of that group. That might be a sign for their podiums to come. So that was Sam Northey, Archie Winter, Callum Duffy, Elijah Hansel. So they have set on their way towards Honeymoon Pool. And now a slight break before our next group. So as we head underway, now make sure, a brief reminder to all riders, there was an updated start list sent out last night with just a few changes on it. Please make sure you check your start time just to double check that you don't miss anything. And it's posted up at the WA Gravity Enduro truck up here. So make sure you head down, just do a double check. Last thing you want is to miss your start time. All of the commissaires also have the updated start list as the next group is under commissaire's orders at the moment. Speaking of the men in the blue shirts, we've got Caden Godden, Duan Quinn, Pat Swindles and Rob Gibbon. So they are waiting to start at the moment. They're going to enjoy their 60-minute liaison out to Honeymoon Pool. So they're not far away from starting now as they're our 4th group on the road as well. So there will be riders scattered all across Collie here this morning and this afternoon. Most of them heading out to Honeymoon Pool this morning. So they'll enjoy some different trails out there in Honeymoon Pool. So the first 2 stages they're doing Breaker and Send It, which was avoided by all of our juniors yesterday. Then the 3rd stage they're doing is Cash Out. Bit of pedalling involved there. Now, the favourites of most of the riders yesterday as our next group gets underway, rolling down the hill towards Wellington Dam. Favourites from our riders yesterday, they did seem to enjoy the flowy, pedalling trails a little bit more. There are some technical trails in here with some technical rocks, rock drops. So as our group gets away, and we're on to our 5th group of the day, we're already moving through it. So please, reminder to riders, if you are within 10 minutes of your race start, head up and relieve the commissaires of any pressure. They will be chasing you down if you're not there. And the last thing you want is to get on the bad side of commissaires before your race start has happened. So the next group on the road, Harrison Rebelt, Jared Davis, Jake Barry, Reese Peacock. So that's our 5th group of elite and under 21 men. Some real talent from top to bottom in this start list as well. If this elite and under 21 start list was an album, there'd be no skips, no fillers. This is talent from top to bottom. And anyone can win it as well. Harder to pick than a broken nose this race will be. As our commissaires just getting our riders underway. So as our riders get underway, Harrison Rebelt, Jared Davis, Jake Barry, Reese Peacock. Let's just quickly look for the wheelie as they head down the hill. We saw the first couple of groups. There was definitely a few manuals chucked in as they roll down towards the dam. But this group seems to be a bit more sedate, enjoying the conversation as they head down. It's a nice, long liaison out to their first trail. Riders are doing the honeymoon pool section of trails first today. So that is the furthest section away from the start. They will then commute back in after doing the 3 stages in Honeymoon Pool. And they'll head in and do the Wellington Dam trails. And what a fantastic place to finish up. Some of these trails just finishing up at the bottom of the Wellington Dam there. You can see the big mural. Fantastic venue for us to host a national championships here. Fantastic event so far being put on by AusCycling and the WA Gravity Enduro team. Lots of volunteers went into this, helping out. So make sure you thank anyone involved with the event. It has been fantastic so far. As our next group in the start pen, Jared Thompson, Pedro Osti, Michael Quinn, Todd Madsen. They are waiting to start. So our next group is underway. That's our 6th group on the road. A nice cruisy roll out of the start chute. There is no need to panic yet for our riders. Very different to a normal bike race. They get let out and they're not being timed for another hour or so. So our riders roll down. There is a manual pull down the hill, which is fantastic to see. We've been looking out for them all weekend. If you had a wheelie on your bingo card, it would have been knocked off in the first 5 minutes within parking. Very little front tyre wear in most of our riders before the race. As we look forward to our 7th group in the start pen at the moment of our elite and under 21 men. And a reminder, there is talent from top to bottom of this field. It does not stop. Archie Boyle, Matt Allen, Dave Harbite and Patrick Broughton. So as the commissaires have them under starters orders at the moment, just a couple of minutes between each group. They will then head out for 60 minutes towards Honeymoon Pool before they have their allotted start time at the first stage for them, which is Breaker Breaker. And that's when their timing starts. So you'll see riders will relax out of here at the start pen. They'll roll into Breaker Breaker, and that is when they turn it on. So nice and relaxed start here. And the key to riding a mountain bike is staying relaxed when you need to. So these riders won't be expending any energy. There'll be no stress on their faces as they roll out. A lot of chatter, enjoying their ride out. But if you manage to catch any of the racing yesterday, or if you're lucky enough to catch some of the racing today with some of the world's best riders on the trails, you will see they will light this place to bits as soon as there's a timing clock on them. So our next group underway. So that's the 7th group on the road. Archie Boyle, Matt Allen, Dave Harbicht and Patrick Broughton are away. And they roll down the hill, the 4 of them. Nice and cruisy. There is another manual there, which is fantastic once again to see. So we're not far away. This is a massive elite and under-21 field. 2 more groups to go. So our second last group of elite and under 21 men are just under commissaire's orders. The lovely people in the blue shirts. Big thank you to them for all their hard work this weekend. So Andrew Horton, Levi Roslin, Sam Butler, they're about to get underway. Like I said, there's no filler in this elite and under 21 men's start list. No skips at all. Anyone could win it. A lot of very talented riders who have spent their summer racing, or their winter racing overseas rather, as they roll away. And that's a wheelie straight out of the start chute, so that is a unique one for us today. That's a good sign for a podium for things to come for one of these riders as they roll down into Wellington Dam. If you want to catch the riders rolling past, you are welcome to roll down to the dam and see them cross the wall. It's a fantastic sight to see the riders ride across that wall with the big mural underneath them as our last group of elite and under 21 men are about to get underway. So Carl Aitken, Austin Ridley, Mitchell Alaprandi, they are lined up on the start line at the moment. Just a minute and a half to go before they get underway. This is our 9th group to get underway of our elite and under 21 men. So as our last group of elite and under 21 men get underway, rolling nice and sedately down into the dam wall. And they will cross Wellington Dam, head out towards Honeymoon Pool, a fantastic camping spot. If you're having a couple extra days here in WA, don't hesitate to check it out. It is beautiful over there, as are a lot of places in WA. So we then have a short break before our elite... Oh, sorry, we've still got more elite men, under 21 men. But just a slight break between them. Jason Sprang, Travis Kerwin, Cadell Adams, and Ethan Boys. Cadell Adams, very well versed in many disciplines of bike racing. Pretty handy on a road bike, very handy on a cross-country bike. And can point a bike downhill for an enduro race if he needs to. Perth local. So he's up in this next group. So a reminder, if you're an elite or under 21 rider, you probably should be right up near the start pen at the moment. Last thing you want is to miss your start. Commissaires are trying to chase riders around just in case. So as we're waiting for our next riders to get underway, so our next group of riders underway. Jason Sprang, Travis Kerwin, Cadell Adams, and Ethan Boys. Straight down the hill into the dam. A nice cruisy start as well. Great to see so much chatter amongst the riders as they roll down. It'll be a nice cruisy 60-minute liaison as they head across to Honeymoon Pool. And our next group of riders is in the starting pen. So our next group, Alexi Garcia-Aros, Josh Moore, Lachlan Thompson, Angus Oddie. Very, very deep elite and under 21 field here today. Just shy of 80 riders lining up in this field. And we saw yesterday, closest race was decided, the national championship, green and gold jersey, was decided by 0.2 of a second. So with almost 80 elite riders here this weekend, I imagine there will be a very close battle at the top of this podium. Current reigning under 21 national champion Bailey Christie is already out there. Well on his way to Honeymoon Pool. Luke Meyer-Smith, another favourite to pull on the green and gold jersey. As our next group gets underway, rolling to the right out of the start chute. So that was Alexi Garcia-Aros, Josh Moore, Lachlan Thompson, and Angus Oddie as they roll down the hill into the dam. Heading across to Honeymoon Pool. Magical setting for our national championships here this weekend. Rolling in today, a bit of mist over the dam. A fantastic place, almost mythical place to strap on a green and gold jersey at the end of it. So next group to line up in the starting pen. Commissaires have them all nicely controlled. Riley Smith, Will Still, Aidan Wright, Tom Summers. They are not far away from leaving the starting pen. Beautiful weather here this morning. A little bit cooler than yesterday. Potential for some rain a bit later on, which might change the way some of these trails ride, but it will be very late in the race for most of our riders, hopefully. But it looks like it will be settling in the afternoon. So if it does come in early, there is some heavy rain on its way. Hopefully we'll miss most of our riders, as we're just waiting for our next group to get underway. So this is our 12th group of riders to go away. Like I said, just under 80 riders in our elite and under 21 men's field. Riley Smith, Will Still, Aidan Wright, Tom Summers. They are led away by the commissaires, pedaling in that familiar left foot, right foot combination. Beautiful circles as they roll down the hill. Any wheelies out of the riders at the moment? And yes, exactly on time. 2 riders pop the front wheel in the air. Fantastic to keep it nice and relaxed all the way across the Honeymoon Pool. Trying to keep the front tyre wear down as well. That definitely helps later on in the day. As our 13th group of riders. Amazing to see the talent on display here. Gus Kime, Ethan Pilot, Harper O'Donnell, Charlie Vince. So a few very talented WA locals in this field. And we saw yesterday, it wasn't exclusively WA lockout, but the WA riders definitely had a nice advantage with some of these trails. A couple of the interstate riders were calling out the pea gravel being a difficult one to get used to. Something we've heard a lot of across the years in WA. Very unique surface we have to ride on. And we're far enough south in the state that the pea gravel doesn't exactly permeate every trail. You'll have some of the trails, a bit more clay, a bit more grip, but then you'll have these patches of pea gravel across the trails. And I think that was catching a few riders out yesterday. This ball-bearing type gravel surface that we have here in WA. Every WA rider very used to it. But some of the interstate riders definitely called it out when I asked for their feedback yesterday. They said it made for a tough one. And we saw a lot of WA success on the podium. And mountain bike events, as we're on to our 13th group on the road. Gus Kime, Ethan Pilot, Harper O'Donnell, Charlie Vince. They are not long. Lovely commissaires in the blue shirts. Like I said, make sure you shout them a coffee, or at least at the very least say thank you to the commissaires. They have done some fantastic work. And donuts, the commissaires are very partial. So are the people with the microphone. So if you see any commentators as well, they could do with a donut as well as our next group gets underway. Our 13th group on the road. And they roll down towards Wellington Dam. And yes, straight away on cue, couple of manuals down the hill. So commissaires have done a fantastic job keeping the racing very fair and safe. At it all over the hills. We've got 7 commissaires here this weekend. It's not a small operation. in our elite and under 21 men category. Addison Maskell, Kai Pavera, Lockie Collins, and Kit Berry. They are just under commissaire's orders at the moment. So a reminder, if you are within 10 minutes of your start time, please make your way towards the starting pen. The commissaires are getting antsy already. They don't want to lose a rider before we've even begun. And the last thing you want is a commissaire to be angry at you before your time has even started. So please make your way to the starting pen. The starts are rolling through thick and fast at the moment as we are waiting on our 14th group on the road. Addison Maskell, Kai Pavara, Lachlan Collins, Kit Berry, and they roll out to the right of the start chute, heading down the hill towards Wellington Dam. A nice sedate start, bit of chat between them again. And that's exactly what we see. And they pop the front wheel up. Fantastic to see. It's an almost 70% success rate on popping the wheel up to getting on the podium at the end of the day. So a lot of blokes fighting for this podium out of this first field. So our next group of elite and under 21 men.
That's fine.
So Bo Neal, Colby Murphy, Lucas Brown, John Cashmere. They are lined up with our commissaires at the moment. So the riders will head out to the right of the start chute here. Get on their way towards Honeymoon Pool. And there's a good 3 stages they'll be doing out at Honeymoon Pool before then commuting back to Wellington Dam. Back across the dam wall. They get the opportunity to go to a tech zone here. There is also a tech zone at the bottom of Honeymoon Pool if they have any mechanicals. And then they've got a bunch of Wellington Dam trials to do to finish it off as well. So 2 different trailheads with different characteristics, which is fantastic. It's national championships that will really test our riders and make for a well-balanced rider pulling on the green and gold jerseys. Our next group gets underway. Bo Neal, Colby Murphy, Lucas Brown, John Cashmere. They are rolling down the hill towards Wellington Dam. Once again, the front wheel pops in the air. It never stops here in Wellington Dam. As we are not far away from the bottom of our elite and under 21 men. But it has been talent from top to bottom here on this start list. Blake Nelligan, Mark Graham, Xavier Fantinelli, Blake Parker. They are the next to roll out. A full group of under 21 men. Commissaire is doing a fantastic job of keeping everything running on time here. So Blake Nelligan, Mark Graham, Xavier Fantinelli, Blake Parker. A couple of Blakes in this group. 16th group on the road. So a reminder, riders aren't being timed straight out of the gate here, so you won't see a big stressful start like you would see in other cycling disciplines. It's a nice cruisy start as our riders are about to roll out of the start chute. Nice cruisy start, and they'll cross the dam wall. As I've just been handed one of the best gifts of my life, a hot donut. And that's a reminder to everyone, while you're here, make sure you support all of the expo and food trucks because they are doing a lot to make sure this event feels and looks like a national championships, and they are having a very successful job of it. It's been a fantastic atmosphere in the event village from start to finish of this national championships. We had our Oceania championships during the week as well. Very, very lucky here in WA. So as our next group gets underway, Blake Nelligan, Mark Graham, Xavier Fantinelli, Blake Parker. And they roll down the hill. So a reminder, if you're an elite or under 21 male and female now, because we are getting close to the female start, please make sure you make your way to the start pen. You can already see some commissaires pulling their hair out, trying to make sure that riders are where they need to be for their start times. So as our next group of riders gets underway, Keith Steele, Nicholas Vici, Ignatius Gerber, Joseph Harrison, they're rolling down the hill towards the dam wall. We just had a brief break in transmission there. And unrelated to the brief break, I can definitely recommend grabbing a hot donut. It's never too early in the morning for a hot donut. That's what I always say. Not that you could tell, very slim and athletic figure of mine. I don't know why anyone laughed. So we're on to Cooper Bond, Robert Glynn, Andrew Harcoyle, Gabe Stevens, Cooper Hiscox. So, our elite and under 21 males. This is our final group. Start list longer than a Leonard Cohen song. 18 groups of elite and under 21 males. Almost 80 riders taking part in this national championships just in that one category. We saw 60 plus riders in our under 15s and under 17s yesterday. So awesome to see the participation numbers. So our last group of under 21 and elite males. Cooper Bond, Robert Glynn, Andrew Harcoyle, Gabe Stevens and Cooper Hiscox. They are rolling down the hill towards the dam now. On the back wheel for multiple riders there. That is fantastic to see. As we then have a short break of only a few minutes, and then we're into our under 21 and elite ladies. There is some massive talent in this fit.
My name's Sean Bloxage from Margaret River Discovery Company. I run a touring business that I'd like to describe as the tour for people who don't do tours. I think one of the highlight experiences is actually canoeing the real Margaret River. Just getting on a calm piece of water, meandering up through the trees, seeing nature around them. You know, most people will come to Margaret River and not actually visit the real Margaret River, and I think that's such a mistake. You know, it's one of the highlight experiences of the region. This experience is very much a nature-based experience, but also a wine experience as well. So we'll look at why the wines from Margaret River are so special. So we look at geology, ecology, climate, and relate that back to wine. And then we follow that up with a four-wheel drive experience and a short little walk on a stunning section of the Cape to Cape track. If you want to do something really small, personalised, intimate, and get a real feel for the region behind the scenes, that's what this is about.
Own a very stacked group, and it doesn't slow down from there. The next group just as talented. So Lacey Adams, Ellie Denoyer, Jess Hoskin and Hannah Richardson. Hannah Richardson, our WA state champion. She'll be wanting to show that she's got a bit of a home ground advantage here on the WA trails. So a reminder that our under-21s are mixed in with our elites here today, and they are eligible to win the Elite National Championship. So they'll have their own podium. However, they're doing the exact same racing as our elite riders. And so if you have a better time than our elite riders today, then you will be on the elite podium. So there's every likelihood that we'll see an under-21 rider pull on the green and gold jersey for an elite category. As we're not far away from this first group of ladies going. Come on, 19 elite and under 21 ladies here today. Fantastic to see the depth in this field. And it's going to be a tight race. We saw yesterday just how tight some of the results were. I don't think today is going to be any different in both our male and female categories. So Lacey Adams, Ellie Denoyer, Jess Hoskin and Hannah Richardson, they roll away the top of our top here in Australia in female mountain bike racing. They roll away down the hill. They've got that 60-minute commute down to Honeymoon Pool. So our next group with the commissaires, we've got Lucy Hill, Taylor Sheriff, who is our current under-21 national champion. She's making the move up to the elites this year. Nicole Watson, Bryn Rankin, Rachel Hoare. So another stacked group of riders here. There's no filler in this start list of female riders. So Lucy Hill, Taylor Sheriff, Nicole Watson, Bryn Rankin, Rachel Hoare. A reminder that Taylor is our current reigning under-21 national champion, and she's moving into the elites this year. So the talent isn't stopping here. If I was a Masters rider, I'd be very, very gracious for the opportunity to ride anywhere near these elite riders as our next group rolls down the hill towards Wellington Dam. They're going to do that long commute out to Honeymoon Pool. We saw some long days for some of our riders yesterday. Some riders out there for 3-4 hours. It really makes for, even though there's only 15-20 minutes of racing, it definitely helps some of the riders who come in with a bit more fitness. Plenty of riders here who cross over disciplines as well. A lot of, obviously, cross-country mountain bike riders. But plenty of riders who ride on the road and the track. We had Cooper Dunlop yesterday, who fresh off BMX Nationals as well. Caroline Buchanan, obviously former multiple world champion both in four-cross mountain bike and BMX. Represented Australia at the Olympic Games for BMX. So mountain bike enduro really does bring a whole bunch of disciplines together. And everyone has their own strengths. It was great to hear from the riders yesterday just what stages they felt suited them. They struggled in other stages. They almost had an off. But it's a long, even though it's only 15 minutes of racing, it's a long day out there. And so little mistakes can be covered over if you are riding well. Obviously, none of our riders getting direct feedback during the stages of how they're going as well. So it's really a test of how to keep your mental during the race as well. Because even though you might have had a tough stage, there could be the person in front of you that also had a really tough stage. As our next group on the road, Jala Tosh, Neris Eddy, Connor Milky, and Zana Evans. They are under Commissaire's orders, not far away from going. They're our second last group of elite females. Our elite and under 21 females mixed in together as they were for the men. So once our elites are underway, we will move into the Masters categories. Starting with the Masters 35 to 44 men. Now a reminder, please make sure you're at the start line at least 10 minutes before your event start. It's Commissaires with a few less bits of hairs. They've been pulling them out, trying to wrangle riders together this morning. So our next riders get underway. Massive cheer for them as well as they go through. And make sure you do get down there and cheer them on. This is the elite of mountain biking in Australia. As they roll down the hill for that liaison out to Honeymoon Pool. Jala Tosh, Neris Eddy, Connor Milky, Zana Evans. So finally, for our elite and under 21 females, Poppy Pollock, Chloe Collins. Our WA under 21 state champion, Abby O'Donnell and Megan Smith. So not long until the last of our females are underway. Mixed in there, under 21 female state champion Abby O'Donnell. So we started with Hannah Richardson in the first group, our elite state champion Abby O'Donnell bookends it with our under 21 state champion. And we saw yesterday WA riders having a little bit of an advantage out there on the trails, potentially having a little bit more time to practice them, as well as being a bit more used to the unique surfaces we have in WA. As they're under commissaires' orders, a reminder, they're not getting time down the start gate. It's not like a normal bike race. They will just cruise out to Honeymoon Pool. Our riders with a 60-minute liaison out to the Honeymoon Pool trails before their first timed stage. Riders doing breaker out there as our last group of elite females gets underway. Massive cheer for them at the start sheet as well, and that is fantastic to see. One of the few opportunities we have where they're coming past the village here. So now we have a short break before our Masters 35 to 44. It's only short though.
I'm Lincoln McLeod and my family own and operate McLeod Tours based here in Margaret River. We created the Margaret River 3-day escape just to really highlight the absolute best of this region. We stop in at places like the Bustleton Jetty, the Cape Lewin Lighthouse. We tour through the Baranup Forest. In amongst that you've got these ancient caves. But then we also experience some of the little boutique wineries, craft breweries, cheese and chocolate producers. And it's really a whole package tour. The landscape itself is what makes Margaret River really special, but beyond that, it's really the people. That's what I love most about Margaret River, yeah. We created this tour purely for guests who are travelling that want to get from Perth to this region in an all-encompassed tour. Now more than ever, people are seeking new experiences and connections with others. There's never been a better time to come and explore Margaret River.
their taste and appetite satisfied. They can experience artwork, history, culture, the natural landscape and some adventure. Hi, I'm Susan. I'm the owner of Busy Blue Bus Tours. Busy Blue Bus Tours is located in Albany in Western Australia on the south coast, and it's about 500 kilometres from Perth. We are the only tour operator in the region to offer a diversity of tour product, covering off food and wine, the natural landscape, history, art and culture. What our guests comment on most often is how much they enjoyed meeting the locals. People from the region who do the work of picking the fruit, serving the wine, making the cheeses and understanding local stories and history. This region has it all. It has mountains, it has extensive white sand beaches, national parks in abundance. It's got the lot.
My name is Georgia and I'm a tour guide here in the Southwest region. Augusta is a very special place, home to many amazing attractions. Visitors love coming to explore our caves to experience a whole new world that exists underground. We take visitors on a fully guided tour where you get to learn about the amazing helictites, stalactites, flowstone and other amazing formations. A short drive from here you'll find the Cape Leeuwin Lighthouse, which is located on the most southwestern tip of the continent where the Southern Ocean meets the Indian Ocean. The new Interpretive Centre, which is housed in one of the original lighthouse keeper cottages, is a fantastic place for visitors to learn about the rich maritime history of Augusta. The view from the top is an incredible experience for any visitor coming to the region. Augusta is a lovely place to come and visit for people of all ages. There's so many things to do and see here, like experiencing the natural wonders and viewing the gorgeous coastline.
My name's Kelly Tannick and I own Walk, Talk, Taste Margaret River. I'm a storyteller by background, so I tell the story of Margaret River through food experiences, walking and now a glamping experience. Everything we have here at Gourmet Glamp and in all our experiences is a representation of the incredible foods that we have here in the region. So we have gins and wines and baked foods and meats and fresh vegetables and things that are really quite special. I just select the things that I love, that I eat with my family, and I share them with our visitors. When people stay here, they rediscover what it's like to reconnect with each other and to be in nature and how that stimulates the senses in a way that they might have been disconnected from for a long time. That's what most people comment on, is that ability to just shut down and connect with each other. It's just a place where you feel so connected to nature, where you feel very much brought back to, I guess, the simple life.
I'm Lincoln McLeod and my family own and operate McLeod Tours based here in Margaret River. We created the Margaret River 3-day escape just to really highlight the absolute best of this region. We stop in at places like the Bustleton Jetty, the Cape Leeuwin Lighthouse. We tour through the Baranock Forest. In amongst that you've got these ancient caves. But then we also experience some of the little boutique wineries, craft breweries, cheese and chocolate producers. And it's really a whole package tour. The landscape itself is what makes Margaret River really special, but beyond that it's really the people. That's what I love most about Margaret River, yeah. We created this tour purely for guests who are travelling that want to get from Perth to this region in an all-encompass tour. Now more than ever, people are seeking new experiences and connections with others. There's never been a better time to come and explore Margaret River.
zones. We are just 15 minutes away from our Masters 35 to 44 men taking the start line. A reminder to all riders, if you are within 10 minutes of your race start, please make your way down to the start chute, which is at the end of the event village here. Commissaires will pick you up and take you to where you need to be. You don't want the commissaires running around looking for a Masters rider. They've already spent their morning looking for elites and they're already pulled their hair out. So our first group of Masters athletes, Ben Murphy, Stephen Gerbert, Darren Harms, Ron Martin. They'll be away at 9:31, so around 15 minutes from now. And there will be a small team of commissaires to show you the way. Just going back to our elites who are out on course at the moment. They had the 60-minute liaison out to Honeymoon Pool. So our elite men are roughly halfway through their first stage. Almost all done. Our women are around 10 minutes away from starting. So the very front of our elite men already riding their way to Send It, which is their second stage on course. So a reminder, the riders have 3 stages in Honeymoon Pool. So do the hour commute out to Honeymoon Pool. They've got 3 stages down in Honeymoon Pool before then commuting back to Wellington Dam. We will have interim timing today as well, so riders will be dropping their timing chips at the tech zone on our way through to the Wellington Dam Trail. So they'll cross the dam wall, they'll drop their timing. We'll be able to see how they're going in the interim. So not far away for our Masters athletes. And a stacked field, no different to our elites really. Very quick Masters athletes out there today. As the weather is rolling in here in Collie.
My name's Graham Durr from Pemberton Discovery Tours. We've been operating the tours now for 22 years in this beautiful part of the world, Pemberton. The Beach and Forest Eco Adventure will take you out into the remoter areas of our national parks, the Warren National Park, the D'Entrecasteaux National Park. We've got the Old Grove Karri Forest, we've got the Yigurup Dunes, and we've got the remoter stretches out on the coastline. We focus on 4-wheel drive trails and really appreciate nature at its best in these remoter areas. We'll get into the heart of the old growth there with some of the world's tallest trees, and that's an amazing place. The Yigurup Dune takes people by surprise, that place, the largest landlocked dune system in the Southern Hemisphere. Pemberton Discovery Tours has been operating for over 20 years. If it's not the tight-knit community, it's the beautiful forest, the climate, and that sense of freedom too. I just look forward to each day.
Guests who come aboard Busy Blue Bus Tours can expect their taste and appetite satisfied. They can experience artwork, history, culture, the natural landscape and some adventure. Hi, I'm Susan. I'm the owner of Busy Blue Bus Tours. Busy Blue Bus Tours is located in Albany in Western Australia on the south coast, and it's about 500 kilometres from Perth. We are the only tour operator in the region to offer a diversity of tour product, covering off food and wine, the natural landscape, history, art and culture. What our guests comment on most often is how much they enjoyed meeting the locals. People from the region who do the work of picking the fruit, serving the wine, making the cheeses and understanding local stories and history. This region has it all. It has mountains, it has extensive white sand beaches, national parks in abundance. It's got the lot.
The Bustleton Jetty is a tourist icon. It's 2.5 hours south of Perth in Western Australia, and it's the longest tourist jetty in the Southern Hemisphere at 1.841 kilometres long. One of the unique experiences people enjoy is travelling over the ocean in our 90-seat red solar-powered electric train. It has 15 lithium batteries and takes about 15 to 20 minutes to get to the end of the jetty. The Underwater Observatory is one of 6 natural aquariums in the world where you actually go 8 metres underwater into a tank and the fish are looking at you. Guests will see the beautiful soft corals on the artificial reef under the jetty, which are very colourful. They might even see huge schools of fish, an octopus or even a sea lion. You can also go and do a unique experience under the jetty, which is an underwater helmet walk. It's a bit like an astronaut walking on the moon, but you're actually walking on the seabed. What I love most about the Bustleton Jetty is that we're able to engage the community in the wonders of the ocean and marine conservation.
Masters riders will be out there shortly. So our Masters riders only doing 2 stages out in Honeymoon Pool as opposed to the 3 our elites are doing. They're all doing the cash out trail, which our juniors did yesterday. I've been told that's a very pedally trail, but there's a good mix of pedally and technical trails out there this weekend. It will make for a nice, balanced rider who wins this national title. So, just a bit over 5 minutes away. Ben Murphy, Stephen Gerbert, Darren Harms, Ron Martin, they are the riders who will be lining up very shortly. So can we please have the first 4 groups of Masters men lining up at the start chute at the end of the race village. Commissaires will be looking for you. We need the first 4 groups of the Masters men lining up at the start chute at the end of the race village. So riders will have 2 timing chips with them today. They'll be dropping 1 once they return from Honeymoon Pool. A lot of interstate riders here as well. Getting to enjoy our trails here in WA as the weather is rolling in. A lot of ominous looking clouds. Forecast is looking like early afternoon for some serious rain. Most of our riders will hopefully dodge a good chunk of it, but I think it will come down on our riders out there today. So at the moment, fine conditions. Trails were reasonably dry, the riders were saying yesterday. The trails themselves were holding up well, but the ground was not the grippiest. Some of the pea gravel catching out our interstate riders as well, which made for an extra bit of fun. We saw a good concentration of WA riders topping the podium yesterday, but we still have plenty of interstate riders sharing the spoils as well. Some very talented riders from all across the country. So a reminder, if you're in the first 4 groups of starters, can you please make your way down to the start chute with the commissaires? They will get you all lined up and ready to go. 9:31 is our start time, so we are less than 5 minutes away for our first riders to ride away. So riders obviously needing to be wary of their nutrition today. It's a long day out for some of them. 4.5 odd hours for our Masters athletes who are about to head out for about 20 minutes of bike racing. So our first group just lining up with our commissaires now. Only a few minutes until race start for our Masters athletes. Much more relaxed start for our Masters athletes than our juniors yesterday. A few more experienced riders in this group. A lot of riders who have been around a long time. Great to see these riders still at the pointy end of their sport. We will see some quick times from Masters athletes today. They will not be far away from our elite times. As we have Ben Murphy, Stephen Gibbett, Darren Harms, Ron Martin. They are lined up on the start line at the moment. Commissaires had them all under starters' orders. Less than 3 minutes to go till race start for our Masters. Very lucky to be supported by Tourism WA here for this event. Fantastic supporters of large events in WA. Anything that gets more people from interstate to our beautiful Western Australia. And what an amazing setting it is. We saw this morning when we rolled in early, fog over the dam. It's like a magical place as we came in. And riders rolled out over the dam wall towards Honeymoon Pool. And it really has been magical conditions here this weekend. Not too hot. At the moment, no rain. We had a bit of rain during the week, but not enough to really dampen the trails. Now, a reminder, if you're in those first 4 or 5 groups, please make your way to the start chute. We have commissaires. The people in the blue shirts are trying to wrangle together our riders. It's like herding cats occasionally. But the people in the blue shirts doing a fantastic job in making sure this racing is fair and safe. So around a minute away before our Masters athletes are on course. We will see them turn right out of the start chute. They'll roll down the hill towards the Wellington Dam Wall. Across that beautiful dam wall, which you don't normally ride across as well. So it's a fantastic opportunity for our riders. Got that beautiful mural as well. I guarantee there will be some fantastic video and photos of exactly that before this weekend is done. So our first group about to head underway. Commissaires have them under the orders at the moment. Ben Murphy, Stephen Jabert, Darren Harms, Ron Martin, they are about to head out. It'll be a nice sedate rollout. 60 minutes they've got to get to Honeymoon Pool for their first stage, a breaker. So all riders doing the same first stage today. And our first riders are now underway. So we've now started our Masters athletes. A reminder, if you're in those first 5 or 6 groups, you should be down the start chute now. Not long until race start. Luckily, our Masters athletes very organised. Never late to anything, our Masters athletes. So as our riders roll down the hill towards the dam wall. So our next group in the pen, waiting to start. Masters 35 to 44 men. Good 40-odd riders in this category. John Nannon, Cameron Schmidt, Josh Phillips, Liam Watts. So they are ready to take on the beast that are the Honeymoon Pool Trails before coming back to the Wellington Dam Trails. That first stage of breaker. So not long until these riders are out the gate as well. So John Nannon, Cameron Schmidt, Josh Phillips, Liam Watts, just eagerly awaiting their start. Now, a reminder, riders are not timed when they leave this gate initially. They are just rolling out, first of all. They've got a 60-minute commute out to their first time stage. The way an enduro works is riders have specific timed stages that they do through the day as our next group gets underway. So, a nice sedate start for these riders. They'll roll out 60 minutes to the Honeymoon Pool set of trails where they'll do their first timed stage. Each stage is around 2 to 4 minutes long. And so, but riders have to make it to each trail under their own steam. So that is the challenge of enduro. You've got to have a bike that you can point down a hill quite quickly, but you still need to be able to pedal it up to the other side. So as our riders roll down the road towards Honeymoon Pool, so our third group of Masters are underway. Thomas Mawson, Dwayne Sobey, Dion Baker, Jamie Wood. They are lined up on the start line now. So not long before our riders are underway. So as the overcast clouds continue here, not super sunny today. It was a little bit sunny yesterday. But beautiful conditions for bike racing. Bit of humidity, so it will be a bit sweaty out there for bike riders. Hydration will be important. It's a long day for some of our riders. These Masters riders are heading out for about a 4.5-hour day once they leave here. And our next group is away. They roll out nice and sedately. Get the feet clipped in, roll down the hill. We see them start pedaling in that left foot, right foot combination. Very famous cycling pedaling style. And our next group on the road, so being marshalled by the commissaires, Ryan Liderick, Wayne de Villiers, Ashley Bennett, Ben Turner. So our fourth group of Masters 35 to 44 men. So they're underway now. A reminder, if you are within 10 minutes of your race start, please make your way down to the starting area. Commissaires are coming looking for everyone. So Ryan Liderick, Wayne de Villiers, Ashley Bennett, Ben Turner. They are about to head away. So riders, our Masters athletes doing 2 stages out in the honeymoon pool. The more technical breaker, and then the more flowy but pedally cash out. Some of the juniors really enjoyed cash out yesterday. Paul Vanderploeg was telling me how that trail is a good bit of fun if you're just cruising down it, but if you want to go quick, you are pedaling your guts out. So we will see a bit of that today. It will require quite a bit of fitness to be on the top step this afternoon. As our next group of 35 to 44 men are not far away from leaving the start chute. So as our next riders get underway, that is Ryan Liderick, Wayne de Villiers, Ashley Bennett, Ben Turner. They are off. So our next group of Masters men, Aidan Davies, Mike Pratt, Ray Horton, Simon Johnston. They are about to head out. So Commissaire's doing a fantastic job lining these up. We're very lucky to also have this being live streamed at the moment. So if you are around and you want to see a stream of the day's start, just on the AusCycling YouTube channel, you'll see these riders will be heading out from their start chute, which is at the end of this amazing event village here. Lots of vendors. Make sure that if you are here today, go support the food vans, the event expo. These people have done a lot to try and make sure this event feels like a national championships, and I think they've been successful. Fantastic event. A reminder that Department of Parks and Wildlife are here. Fantastic to have so much support for mountain biking here in WA, and amazing to be able to show it off to the rest of the country as well. As we is Simon Johnston. Not far away from rolling out. Keepers on the start shoot. The commissaires not far away from letting these guys go. Just under 40 riders in our Masters 35 to 44 men. Fantastic to see such huge numbers coming out and riding the trails here in Collie. Fantastic to see so many interstate riders coming out as well. We heard from a few of them yesterday. The travel and trails were a bit challenging for some of our interstate riders. It's a different surface to get used to. So as our next group goes away, that was Tim Rosso, Michael Elderfield, Dean Goff and Reese Tatum. They're going to just roll down to the Wellington Dam wall, which has that beautiful mural covering the entire wall. If you're at home watching the live stream, definitely look up a photo of that Wellington Dam wall. It's a beautiful mural covering the entire wall. And if you're here at the event, head down and watch the riders cruise across it. They've got a 60-minute ride out to Honeymoon Pool. Well, the riders crossing it. Not often we actually get to ride across this dam wall. Normally you have to dismount as you cross the wall. So we're very, very lucky to have that opportunity. Our next group is lined up in the pen. Commissaire is doing a fantastic job at keeping us on time. So we are on to Scott Pedersen, Jeffrey Wright, Mitch Delfs, McCalkin Noonan. Fantastic to see some WA locals in there. Fantastic to see some WA locals that have been around mountain biking indispensable in putting this together. Fantastic to see as our third group of Masters 45 to 54 men roll out the start chute. They roll out to the right, head down the hill towards the dam wall. And they will be loving these conditions, to be honest. These nice cool conditions with just a bit of rain cooling you down will be perfectly welcomed by our riders. As we have our riders just stationed at the end of our event village here. All the expo tents down the side. Make sure you're supporting them if you are here. Our next group of Masters 45 to 54 men, Jason Bennett, Paul O'Donnell, Stuart Keep and Stuart Phyllis. So as the rain continues to just drizzle in, just hitting the outside of our commentary booth at the moment. And it's not stopping the riders at all. This will be well enjoyed by the riders out there on course. Our elites, a reminder, they're already out in Honeymoon Pool at the moment. I'll give you a small update of where they are at. So our elite field is about halfway through their second stage today. So a reminder, they had a 60-minute commute to get out to the first stage. They're about halfway through their second stage. So it's a long day for our elites. Our Masters athletes only doing 2 stages out in Honeymoon Pool this afternoon before making their way back to Wellington Dam to do the trails that are close to the event village. So as our next riders head down the hill, so that was Jason Bennett, Paul O'Donnell, Stuart Keep and Stuart Phils. As the rain starts coming in a bit heavier now. So we just saw Anthony Schmidt, Douglas Pollock, Chris Thompson, Wayne Green. They ducked away quickly. Stephen Butler, Paul Black, Ryan Dillon, and Vincent Pilot. They are our last Masters 45 to 54 men. And they will duck away shortly before we have a slight break before our Masters 55 to 64 men. So our next group of riders rolls away. Masters 55 to 64 men. Kimberly Ranson, Richard Rutley. And just before that, we saw Matthew White, Clive Mitchell, Nicholas Barnes and Simon Gerber going away. So our final two of our Masters men, 65 plus men, Graham Dixon and Clem Ryan. They are about to roll away out of the start chute. So these riders are doing the hour-long commute out to Honeymoon. Other than breaker. So our 55, our Masters 55 to 64 and our 65 plus are not doing breaker. They're doing send it. Graham Dixon and Clem Ryan. Before we move into our Masters females.
Get a downhill run for both. It'll be cold where it's on.
So Graham Dixon and Clem Ryan, they are now away. So we have a couple of minutes before 44 women roll out. So today we have our current 35 to 44 female state champion here in WA, Louise Turner. So they're not far from getting underway. So not long until our Masters 35 to 44 females are underway. So next up, we have our Masters 45 to 54 women. And having a good chat on the start line as well. Heidi Strickland, Jay Fatchin, Louise Black and Simone Nichols. So these ladies make up our Masters 45 to 54 women. So one of them will not end up on the podium. Bit of a tussle for it there as they get underway. I believe they also had the Masters 55 to 64 women in tow. So that was Carol Wilcox-Daniel and Cass Ryan. And so that is the last starters of our morning. All of our Masters athletes underway now. And so a brief update of where we are at with our racing. So our elites, the front of our elite group, will have made it to the start of cash out, or will be there very, very shortly. And they are underway in less than 15 minutes. And so that first group of Luke Meyer-Smith, Bailey Christie, Thomas Locke and Sasha Kim, they are not long until they do their final stage of Honeymoon Pool before they make the commute back. They've got a 55-minute commute after finishing that stage. And they make it back to Black Glove, one of the more technical trails here this weekend. So the front of our elite riders. And for our Masters athletes, the front of our Masters athletes will be almost at Breaker so far. So they've made that commute out to Honeymoon Pool. Probably the front will actually be there, ready and resting for a quick stage. Breaker being the first stage for most of our Masters athletes. So 3 stages out in Honeymoon Pool for our elite and under 21 athletes today. And a reminder that under 21s are eligible to win the elite national champs. So we will see some competitive riding out there because there are some very elite under 21 riders in both the male and female categories. So local hero Bailey Christie, probably at the top of the list of someone who might challenge for that top step. He's had a very successful year in Europe. Our current under 21 state champion. So our next group of riders underway. Favorite to pull on the green and gold jersey. My apologies, Bailey Christie, the current under-21 national champion. So, but has definitely gone one better this year. Found another level while he's been in Europe. Managed to win a couple of EDR World Cup events. So, some fantastic talent out in the hills this morning. Almost everyone out in Honeymoon Pool now. Our riders are due back to Wellington Dam. The first riders will be back around 11:30, and they'll be putting some transponders in. So we will get some interim timing for our riders as they come back from Honeymoon Pool. We'll be able to see where our riders have ended up after the first 3 stages of our elites and first 2 stages for our Masters athletes. And then they've got 3 stages to do here in Wellington Dam as well. So a full day of racing. Our Masters athletes likely going to be out there for 4.5 odd hours. And our elites probably looking at around 5 or just over 5 hours of racing. So a long day out in the saddle. Nutrition and hydration very important. But what better place to be doing it here in Collie as the rain has eased off just slightly. So riders due back at 11:30 from Honeymoon Pool.